The conversation of your life. Local, relevant, digital, and always on.
America will hear my 2 cents.
Elected to serve iHub radio listeners across the desert cities. He calls it as he sees it.
Quick question.
Now, here's Russ Betts.
Someone answer him now!
Okay, well, it's the end of the year. We all know we just finished up with New Year's, gave our big celebrations, and this also happens to be the time of the year when cities find out how they did in certain areas. And there is some absolutely fabulous, fantastic, wonderful, pick the adjective, news out of Desert Hot Springs when it comes to crime stats. Desert Hot Springs has moved closer to its goal of becoming the safest city in the Coachella Valley. Say what? Yes, that's right. I'm sorry, I got to introduce myself. This is Russ Betts on the Russ Betts Radio Show, but I'm a little giddy today because I'm also happen to be a Desert Hot Springs City Council member, and we just got a report from our police chief letting us know that, well, I'm going to let him give the numbers because we've got him on the line today. Police Chief Dale Mondary from Desert Hot Springs, welcome to the Russ Betts Show.
Good afternoon, Russ. Thank you.
Okay, so did you hear any of that? I'm a little too excited. I messed up my intro. I was going to lead into this a little more calmly, but we got some great news out of Desert Hot Springs.
And we do. It's our year-end crime statistics are in, and we overall are Part 1 crimes that get reported to the FBI or all of our national crime data. It's what all the cities report. So from 2018 to back to 2017, we had another 15.5% reduction in our Part 1 crimes.
That's absolutely incredible, isn't it?
It is. It's an amazing job, not only by the officers, but it does show the true commitment from the city council, the mayor, and the citizens who really help us out.
Well, I think we got one fantastic chief of police up there in Desert Hot Springs who can take more than a little credit for this one. You're doing a great job, Chief.
Well, thank you, Russ. I appreciate that.
And I was on social media earlier, and I saw a post from one of my fellow council members, and they were pretty excited about the news here also. Now, this isn't the first year that we've had a reduction, right? We're stringing these together now.
It is. We have, I think last year, for the last 3 years total, we were down well over 20%, maybe even in the 25% range. And so, another 15.5% reduction is, just a significant impact to our citizens. And of course, we still have, our goal is to be the safest city. We'll start with the Coachella Valley, and then ultimately, it would be wonderful if we could be the safest city in the state of California. So we still have some work to do, but we're very happy with our numbers.
If you don't set the goal, you don't get there, and that's what I love about you and what's going on in our police department. We're actually making some progress here. This is some really good news. Now, there's other cities now. We've actually made some ground up. Desert Hot Springs probably used to be the least safe city in the Coachella Valley, and now I guess there's 2 or 3 other cities that didn't fare so well on the FBI's Universal Crime Report.
We have been going down, and sorry, I'm a little scratchy in my throat here. Excuse me a second. And yes, historically, the city statistically had the highest crime rate in the valley. And even up to last year, there were 3 other cities that had, a crime index, a crime rate that was higher than Desert Hot Springs. So we have, just wonderful opportunities in the city because we know as the crime rates decrease, it increases tourism for us. our property values will increase, and we have beautiful, wonderful spas that people could come and visit. Just a combination of everything going on in the city truly makes Desert Hot Springs one of the places to be in the Coachella Valley.
And I think the foundation for all of this is that the FBI's UCR report isn't the only good report that the city got this year. Standard & Poor's also took our financial rating to AA+, which is pretty darn good, especially considering where we were 5 years ago.
It really does, and it shows the economic growth in the city. We know that we have businesses that are coming in that are creating jobs, and I think the policy of controlled growth, being fiscally conservative, really that commitment from the city council has truly shown, not just to the residents and the rest of the Coachella Valley, but nationwide. I mean, you don't get those types of ratings if those national companies aren't keeping an eye on you as well.
Yeah, well, we're it's working. I guess that's what we can say. We're real happy about that. So 15. You put out a report to the council. You said 15.6, but when you got on here the air, you said 15.5. Which one is it?
It actually is 15.6. I didn't want to split hairs over 1/10, but it is 15.6.
Okay, well, I'm not giving up that 1 point. That's that we'll take that one. That's good news. All right, so now a lot of police departments are looking to hire new officers. We're doing the same. It's always a constant effort to keep a full contingent on the force. How are efforts going there?
So we are at the start of the year. We were fully staffed, and I think you could see that with some of our numbers, especially in February, March, and April when we had a full contingent. But over the course of time, sometimes things don't work out. People move on for various reasons, whether it's money or geography, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. They may not be the right fit for us. So, and that's an ever evolving thing because, again, as we've talked about, we're not just going to recruit anybody. We want to make sure we're recruiting the right people that's a good fit for the city, that's committed and want to be there. And so we're taking a couple of measures. We're actually in the process of hiring now. And not only that, but instead of being reactive to our situation, we have a new philosophy that we are going to be proactive. So we're actually going to push people through backgrounds. We're going to do a complete background investigation and have those names ready so that if someone leaves, instead of us taking 2 or 3 months or longer to get a replacement hired, we intend to have a list of potential candidates that could step right in, again, if they're the right fit, so that we don't have a lapse in personnel and we can continue our enforcement efforts with our joint task force, specialized units inside the city doing things. So we have a plan in place as we move forward just to perpetually keep the city as safe as we can.
And I think something else the city has going for it is a population that really does like their police department. I've been on the city council for a while, and every time we've got a swearing-in ceremony, without exception, there's a standing ovation among the 50 or 60 people in the room saying, "Hey, thanks, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you here."
We do, and I think that's wonderful. And the city is very, very supportive of the department, and really that was one of the major draws that drew me to the city, was just that outpouring of love, the welcoming. I mean, anybody that follows us on social media, they don't they don't know how we're not all overweight, because we have so many of our citizens that are just so thankful, so appreciative. There's virtually people that bring us food and desserts down to the police department all the time. When I actually go speak at recruiting events trying to recruit new police officers, I always ask them, how many of you have heard of Desert Hot Springs? And there's always a number that raise their hand, and I says, what's one thing you can tell me about Desert Hot Springs? And virtually every time the opening comment is, you guys eat very well. And it's, just that love that we get and that support that we get from the community is very, very welcoming.
Well, Chief, I got to tell you, the reason the city council loves you is because you're making us look good, and the reason the citizens love you is because we got a crime rate down 15.6% in the city, and it's stringing along a whole bunch of years of reduction. You're making the place real safe. Thanks, and I really appreciate having you on today.
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate you having me on. It's always a pleasure to get to talk to you in this manner.
Okay, Police Chief from Desert Hot Springs, Dale Mondary, joining us on the Russ Betts Show. I'll get to talk to him in a couple of weeks when we go to a council meeting. But for now, we got to talk to him here on the Russ Betts Show, and we're back with more.